Tell them run it up.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up.
What is going on? It is DJ Tech Thursday. Hashtag wake up in Cleveland. I don't know how long it's going to be before I redo that. Well, redo that intro. I just honestly have not had time to do it. Haven't had time. I'm working on it. I feel like the window for me is going to be after Harvest of Sound Festival. And then after Harvest of Sound, I have Hanukkah stuff, Hanukkah party that same week. And then after that, I got 2 weeks of, when you think you have time to do stuff, you're like, you know what? I'll do it right before Christmas. I got 2 weeks before Christmas where I don't have anything going on. And then you'd say, oh, that's right. I was going to paint the bedroom. I was going to paint the living room. That's right. I was going to recaulk the baseboards. I'm going to do all these things. And then you realize you don't have as much time as you thought you did. Well, that's where I'm sitting right now. I understand why. Well, it's a funny situation because I understand why like rich people are like, I just pay somebody to get it done. Time is money and I don't have time to do it. Well, I'm not rich. So, it kind of screws me a little bit. See, Kayla says, hire a professional. Hire a professional. Yes. Well, that is something I'd love to do, but you guys all know this is a running gag. It's true. I have children. I got children that are in dance and dances. Damn it, it's expensive. So that's not going to happen. The money that I have, I'm like, oh, here's my disposable income. I'm going to go put this here. It's in dance. It's in dance. It's unfortunate, but we make sacrifices as parents, and that's just the way it works. Oh, I know what it costs. I know exactly what it costs. It's too much money right now. So the question is not, it's not really about how much it costs or how, it's just the facts are, if I'm going to put money somewhere, it's not going there right now. Unfortunately, I got several projects that are happening. I got to get done. I have some very, very good gigs that are coming up, that are going to help, but, it is what it is. I'm not broke. I got to put it to places. I got Hanukkah gifts to buy. My son needs a new computer. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Hey, I don't know how many people in here have children, especially children that are, at a time that are like teenagers and, going to be adults. You think there's it's like a step. So when you first have your child, a child, not your child, could be anybody's child. When you first receive a child, I always tell people that one child, you can do pretty much anything. You can do anything. That second child kind of screws you. Not in the situation, not in the sense of like, oh my God, my life is over. But in the situation, the sense of like, everything just takes more. That one child, people are like, oh, I'll watch that one child. They'll watch one child. They won't watch two children. It's just not the way it works. I mean, obviously people do, but I'm just saying in general, it's a lot more work to get that second one. I have 3. Now, you think that it's cheaper in the beginning, then it gets a little more expensive. Then it kind of gets cheaper again because they kind of become kind of self motivating, and they can operate autonomously from you. And then they get to a point again where they need everything, and then the stuff that they need is stupid expensive. You know, a 5-year-old, you're like, here's your $20 toy, you know, but that doesn't exist. And the biggest problem that I have personally, we have the wrong friends. That's the problem. We have the wrong friends. What do you mean you have the wrong friends? I mean that for whatever reason, thanks, Billy. I mean that for whatever reason, my kids, gravitate, they become friends with, they have relationships with these people that make a shit ton of money more than I do. And I don't mean like, oh, your dad's this. I mean like, oh, your dad's like a famous movie star. Oh, your mom is an Oscar winner. Oh, he's a rock star. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, he's this. Like, that's the kind of friends that my kids keep gravitating to. So they operate in this world where they see all of these things, and they're not those people. But in their minds, they're like, well, I'm doing this, so I'm these people. You know, like, oh, well, so-and-so, I'm not going to name any names. So-and-so is just going to rent a car, and then take us all there. And then, you know, the car pulls up, and it's like literally like a high-end bus. And there's like 40 people in there, and they're covering everybody, and they take them to a concert, and they're in the front row, and they're not even thinking about money. And then afterwards they go into the back and they meet these people. And so, yeah, it's just, we're not looking like the poor friends. We're not there. But there is a distinct difference. Now, fortunately, the people that, you know, my kids are friends with, they're as hugely popular and as rich as these people are. They are the most down to earth people, you know, and that's why I never really stress. I never really like get, oh my God, you're so-and-so, because they're all just people, you know, trying to live their lives, trying to do the stuff. So, it is what it is. So, I will, the intro, I probably will go on like Fiverr and get somebody to make my intro for me. To be honest with you, that one's easy. I'm not going to hire somebody to paint the inside of my house. That's an expense that, like, I'm just not taking care of. Factor in that paint itself is ridiculously priced now. I remember I painted my whole house. Not the kids' rooms, but like the main rooms and like the master bedroom. I think I painted the whole house for like $500. For like $500. Now I think I told you guys, I had a leak in my ceiling, so they had to get all the pipes are in the attic, but my attic is like this big, so you can't do it that way. You have to cut a hole in wherever the leak is coming from. So they cut a hole. Anyway, got a big hole, and we patched it all up. It was nice and pretty. I went to buy paint, and I'm like, oh my God, when did a gallon of paint become this much money? When did that happen? And so I know that $500 paint that I did, 6 years ago is going to be probably $1,000 now. Unfortunately, everything's just more expensive. So it is what it is. We'll get through it. We will get through it. Thomas says, Thomas Zwiner in the building says, no music. You must be new here. And then says, blah, 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 Groove Rider the best. Who cares about Groove Rider? I don't know Groove Rider, so that doesn't matter to me. This is a DJ Tech show. You want to talk about DJ Tech, or you want to talk about Groove Rider? Or you can just, go somewhere else and not be a troll. Anyway, so let's see who's in the building today. All right, we got Robert Nestor in the building. Thank you so much. Kalo, John Smith, DJ, is that Dimitri? I saw we got Billy, we got DG Kenny, Mac Attack, Aaron the DJ, Philip Tan in the building. Good to see you. Hope to see you at the Harvest of Sound. I can't make it for the actual panels, unfortunately. The pesky day. Hey, I get it. You know, sometimes work comes into play, and you're kind of a important guy there. You're teaching DJing. How can you not be important? How? I mean, seriously. Let's see here. Fidel Freyas, dude, J Book in the building. Good to see you, fam. That's J Book. If you're not following J Book on YouTube, on Twitch, on Instagram, you're doing the wrong thing. He has a show that comes on later in the evening today. Similar to what I'm doing here, although he's much more concise, and he only pretty much talks tech. I'm the rambler. I'm all over the place, but it's a very good show. You should watch it. Raw Eastwood in the building, and my seat is still falling down. I'm gonna make a post about buying a new seat. Neil Dennis, Mulberry, Mac Joseph, Logistical Styles, and King Briggs. Good to see you guys all here. For the people that are at least announcing themselves to be here, I see 72 people that are currently coming to the chat, but there's definitely not 72 people commenting, and that's okay. I know that some people like to just kind of listen as they drive. You know, I got people that I didn't realize that I was a nice little background conversation piece. People are making breakfast or lunch or whatever. Hey, I appreciate it. That makes me feel good. You never know when you're doing these shows, or when you're starting stuff up, or when you have an idea of what you kind of want to do. You never really know how people are going to process it. So I spent a lot of time saying, well, this is what I do. People were complaining, dude, what? Talk about tech, dude. That's why I'm on here. And I'm like, well, we will, but that's not the whole channel. We do a lot of things here. And it took a minute to kind of fight through that feeling that, oh my God, you know, if I don't talk about tech, people are going to leave if I don't do this. You know, it's working out. The people that want to be here are here. My phone is blowing up right now. Blowing up. And I do not know why. And then the worst thing is, you know, it's holiday season. So you're getting so many stupid emails. Everybody wants you to, you know, re-up and resubscribe and purchase and sales. And there's a lot of companies that are emailing me now because they got, you know, holidays. They know people are shopping right now, so they want me to go out and promote stuff. I don't mind promoting things. I don't mind reviewing things that make sense. And when I say make sense, I mean that they're going to actually help my community, because people will send me stuff. Hey, can you do this? And can you do that? And can you review this? And I'm just like, there's a fine line between making a video, you know, receiving product, and then the actual return on the investment. Meaning, I take this product, I spend time reviewing it, I take it out, I test it all over the place, then I do my review. And do people even care? Do people even care about the product that I'm talking about? And I pretty much know what people care about and what they don't care about. So I'm very selective on what I review. And since a lot of people, especially Amazon people, they don't understand that there's a process. You know, my live shows have lower turnarounds. You know, they'll get somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 views, which in my opinion for a live show, a 2-hour live show, is pretty damn impressive, you know. But my product reviews are anywhere between, you know, 10,000 to 30,000. So YouTube understands that in the algorithm. So because it's all It's all numbers, guys. It's really all numbers. And the algorithm says, okay, well, your lives do this. We're not going to ding you for the lives because the lives are the lives. So thank you. And then when your videos come out, okay, we're going to post it and send it out to the people that need to get it. But if you start doing reviews and your reviews for said product is 1,000 people, YouTube's going to hit you for that. They're going to ding you. So what I tell people when they ask me to review their products, I'm like, well, it depends on what the product is, but if it's something simple or whatever, let me put it into a sponsored video, or let me put it into a multi video. For instance, you guys know I use the DJI mics, but there's a couple of companies out there that are making DJI mic, competitive competition, clones, if you will. And, so when the lady said, hey, would you like to review this product? I said, yeah, I will compare it to the DJI mic. I don't want to make it a thing where it becomes where they think that they're getting over. Because a lot of these people, they don't want to pay, especially these Amazon people. They do not want to pay. They don't want to pay, but they're like, they think that because they're giving you free gear, that that's your incentive. But, if a piece of gear costs $70 on Amazon, that's not worth my time. And it's definitely not worth me doing an exclusive all-in-one video. That's silly. Nobody cares about that. I can guarantee I'll get at least 1,000 views from any post that I do just because of the people that follow me. Like, you guys will just watch the video, and I appreciate that. But I don't want to do videos for things that don't make sense, which is why my videos have become less and my Thursday show has become the thing, because I don't want to deliver just BS content. It's never been my thing, ever. No BS content on this channel. Now, there are things that I still have in the pipeline that I want to do, social things I want to talk about, and experiences that I've seen, and even some things that pop up on like Instagram or YouTube where I want to talk about it a little bit. So those are the things that I definitely want to do, along with reviews that make sense. For instance, the Mackie Thumb Goes were, I thought, were a very, very good product, and it did very, very well. The Mackie Thrash, I knew wasn't going to be the same. So instead of just saying, hey, let's make a Mackie Thrash video, and where people are like, I don't buy Thrash. Why are you even reviewing this? I do a comparison between the Thrash and the Thumb Go. Leverage. It's all about making leverage. And if anybody's out there thinking about making content, obviously if you're just starting out, just make any video, shoot every video you can. But once you're established, your core audience, your audience expects a certain something from you, and you have to be able to provide that. So I'm very, very specific about what I review, to the detriment of me and my YouTube finances. Anyway, but I'm curious to know, though, put it in the chat. I'm curious to know what kind of videos, do you even want to see? I have plans for 24. Not going to deviate from what I do here. There's always going to be the Tech Thursday, but I want to do some things that kind of inspire me a little more. And, I have not, because it's a rat race. You get stuck in things, and I want to change it up. So put in the comments below what you actually want to see, the things that you want to see from me. I'm curious. Okay, let's see here. Fisher Rappapod in the building, DJ Dell. Let's see here. Jay. She's a DJ checking in from Atlanta. Welcome. Let me move this over so I'm not looking over here, because that looks weird. I have this, the chat literally covers my face, but why do I need to see my face? That's some vain stuff right there. I just love to hear myself talk. Okay. Ray Gilbert in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. So today, some stuff going on. I'm leaving after the show. I got to just, grab an outfit, whatever. I'm heading to Vegas. So I'm heading to Vegas because, DJ Neva's, funeral / celebration of life is this evening. So, heading to Vegas and probably about 1 o'clock because it doesn't start until I think 8 o'clock or something like that. So that's where I'm going today. It is what it is. You know, it's going to be a long turnaround trip because I do have a gig tomorrow, but life is 100% worth more of my time than, you know, staying home and making a YouTube video. So, I'm heading there. It should be a good time, you know, getting to see people that I haven't seen in a while and obviously support the brother, you know, in his passing, which everybody knows passed a couple of weeks back. So I'm going to stay with my sister. Fortunately, I have family in Vegas. In fact, the majority of my family, excuse me, the majority of my family actually lives in Vegas. So every time I go to Mobile Entertainment Expo, I never get a room. I just stay at my sister's house and I drive in. It's like from where she lives, because nobody lives in Vegas. You usually like right on the outskirts of Vegas. So she's about 10 minutes away from like the strip. So I just stay there and save some money. Now, I just recently tried to get some contacts for Mobile Entertainment because I'm like, look, if you guys want to cover my room, then, you know, I'll just stay at the hotel and it's just easier I don't have to go anywhere or drive around. Although I still drive around anyway because I normally pick up gigs. I usually book gigs when I'm in Vegas. So it'll probably be the same thing. So it doesn't really matter where I stay. And it's just my sister and she has a whole room for me. Actually, she has multiple rooms because it's just her living on her own. So, you know, why not? That's what sisters are supposed to do. That's what your family's supposed to do. Hey, I'm in town. You're probably not going to see me at all, but I need a room. That's what your family's supposed to do. I don't know why I'm feeling guilty about this. That's what you're supposed to do. Oh, man. Okay. Ray Gilbert in the house. Guto, will you be at NAMM? We'll be at NAMM 2024. Would be great to meet you. I will be at NAMM. I'm actually just working out those details right now too, but 100% I will be at NAMM. It's back in January. So how can I miss back in January? It's my birthday month. January 18th is my birthday. So if you wanted to send me gifts, January 18th, which I think falls on a Friday this year. So I think I'm gonna attempt to book a spot, a club or something, and get my DJ on because, you know, old people like to DJ too. Okay. E Swift in the building. Let's see. You got any Black Friday or Cyber Monday deals? Well, considering we are past that, done. No. What did I buy? Oh, the only thing I bought is the Samsung T7. That's the only thing I bought over Black Friday. I didn't buy anything. For a couple of reasons. There weren't a lot of Black Friday deals, to be honest with you. I mean, the same deals that are always on were on. But as far as like, ooh, what is that special thing? I didn't see anything that made any sense. That I couldn't find somewhere else. So I will be buying. I have a couple things to buy, and I know that Billy said the MacBook. The MacBook is dope, Billy. The problem with his MacBook is not his fault. I don't buy 16-inch MacBooks anymore. I'm a 14 for life now. 14 for life. And my son doesn't need a 16, even though he would not say no to it because it's wonderful. We're going to stick him. He's going to end up with the MacBook Air. Why? Because I'm only spending so much money. Maybe if I can find an amazing deal, you know, on an M1, maybe somebody that's trying to sell their 14, maybe if I can get it for, you know, say 1,700, $1,800, maybe. But besides that, MacBook Air. And the problem is, you know, the MacBooks are cheap. I mean, I can even go to the refurb site. You can find a MacBook Air for, you know, $800-900. That's not the problem. The problem is you need more storage space. You know, he needs at least 1 terabyte of space. I'd like to see him with at least 16 gigs of unified memory. And that ends up going up to like $1,400, no matter what. So he's going to contribute. I'm not paying all this money myself. He's definitely going to contribute. He's been saving up for a computer, and because it was his fault that he has to buy a computer. He decided to break his computer. So I will contribute to his fund. So the more money he can get, the better computer. I was even looking at the MacBook 13 with the Touch Bar for a second, but because it has the M1 in there, I think M1 or M1, yeah. So we'll see what happens. We're not there yet. And my daughter needs a new Apple Watch. I actually need a new Apple Watch. I love my Apple Watch. I don't go anywhere or do anything without my Apple Watch because my phone stays on silent. But lately, I'm in this window, this pocket, where the battery's not lasting all day anymore. But it's not so extreme that Apple will repair it for that $100 price. That happened to my wife's. So it only costs us $100 and she got a brand new battery. It's a brand new watch, essentially. I mean, they basically just replace them anyway. They don't fix them, but mine is not there. So they're going to charge me a grip. So I might as well buy a new one. And so that's my only gift to myself. I'm buying a new Apple Watch. That's it. Everything else, I don't need everything else. I got everything I need. I do. Okay. Let's see. DJ MO, for wireless mics, do you change the sensitivity on the microphone or do you leave it as default? Absolutely. Well, okay. Hold on. Are we talking about DJI mics, like those types of microphones? Or are we talking about a Shure SM58? That's kind of the question here. I'm assuming you're talking about the DJIs, which I will answer right now. If you are using a DJI, every single camera that you use has a different threshold. So my Sony, I think I'm rocking either -3 or -5. My Lumix, when I used to use it on there, I never used the DJI, but I used the Rode Mic Go. I think I had dropped that one to like -7. So the gain structure, the gain impedance is always relative. But yeah, I keep it around -5, and it's been good for me. Absolutely good. I haven't had any problems with it at around -5. That's a good number for pretty much any microphone scenario. I mean, because look, if you're into audio like I am, and you've ever been in engineering or any of those things, the first rule of recording anything is never record at 0. Never record where you're hitting 0. You need to be recording where you're hitting like -10 for like audio. So, and then that allows you to actually, when doing your mix down to get the levels where they're supposed to be without over compressing and without making your stuff sound like trash. So, always record, down. I mean, I think I'm at like, but the -5 is in the camera. It's not in the DJI. I think I keep the DJI. Where is my DJI mic? I'll grab it in a minute and let you know. Okay. Friedland, thank you for hanging out today. Appreciate you. I hope DJ Mojex is not here today with peer pressure. Okay. So peer pressure. This is actually funny. And I agree because I posted on my IG, look, I bought this. And the hilarious thing is, it came like the very next day. When I tell you, if you guys know what the Samsung T7 hard drive is, it's this big. Okay. This big. The box they came in, this big, this wide. When I tell you that I wasn't sure what package arrived at my house, I'm serious. You would have thought that somebody bought a computer. It came in basically a 20-inch, 24-inch computer monitor box. I opened it up and it was just flopping around in the box because there was nothing in there. So, yeah. So the peer pressure. I okay, so I haven't had problems with the Samsungs with the SanDisks. I haven't had problems. I did have one drive fail me, which is the first one I ever bought, but that one was also like 5 or 6 years old. So I haven't had any problems. Now it failed just recently, which is why I needed to buy a new one. But the newer one that everybody's saying has problems, I didn't have any problems with. So it's hard sometimes for people to, when people say, oh no, that sucks. That's terrible. You know, that's a thing, especially on the internet, where one person or several people, you know, have a problem with their device. And then they go around telling everybody it's shoddy, it's crap, it's falling apart, don't buy it. Well, the problem with that statement is it's relative. It's if, and again, I'm not saying that there aren't problems, but I'm just using this as an example. If SanDisk sells 100 hard drives, 100 SSDs, and 95 of those SSDs fail, that's a problem, right? But the problem is none of these people are selling one for one. You know, SanDisk might sell, 10 million units. And if, a million, or let's say 500,000 of the units fail, well, from a numbers perspective, it's actually not that bad, which is why, people like that, they don't tend to fix things when they're failing, because they're like, look, it's going to cost more to retool the thing to fix the thing than it is to just keep selling them and refunding people for the products that fail. One of the big things that happened was with the Rev 7. Rev 7 had some problems with some of their boards, and people were like, oh, failure rate. Oh, they're terrible. They just fall apart. Well, no, but when there's a big ticket item and they're selling a lot of units and some of the units have problems, it's gonna feel like they're all having problems, when in reality, there's, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. I know they're not selling that many. Hundreds of people that don't have problems, and then the 50 people that have problems are the loudest voice. Now, I say that just talking in general. However, when I have a respected peer that tells me to do something or recommends that I don't do something, I'm going to listen because I respect them. And I would expect that people, when they ask me, hey, should I do this or should I buy that? And I say, hey, you know what? Don't buy that. This is why I would recommend this. I hope that those people listen to me. And if they don't listen to me, they don't really respect me. If they just kind of do whatever they want anyway, they don't respect me. Because there's people that are like that. You're like, oh, hey, you know what? I wouldn't recommend that. This is why. There's been blah, 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 and this and this and this. Don't buy this. Buy this instead. And they're like, okay, man. And then they were like, I bought it. It failed. And I'm like, why are you coming to me? I told you what not to do. So enjoy your bath of misery, because I'm not getting in there with you. So I listened to Mojax, and you guys were on the stream that moment. I'm like, fine, I'll buy this instead. And the problem with hard drives is it's not like you're buying, a video game. It's just a hard drive. It doesn't do anything but store your stuff. So, storing your stuff is important. And when you're like me, when you have a whole bunch of, and I do backups and I throw them up in the cloud too, but when you have a whole bunch of projects that are just sitting on hard drives because you haven't had time to just do them, it's important that you keep drives that, don't fail. That's kind of important. So I'm going to try this one out. If this one fails, oh, am I going to let you people have it? If this one fails and my T-set and my SanDisk has been perfect, I'm going to let you people have it. Have it. I'm going to be that loud guy. Okay. Thank you so much, Don Ralph. I appreciate that. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, I answered that. Mine was. Now, I'm very happy. It's J-Bucks, 2 terabyte. I got the 4 terabyte drive. And, for the record, I know this is a sensitive subject for people. I don't do external for DJing. People are like, well, I don't understand. Why do you even have a hard drive if you're not doing external? Because it's for backups and it's also for all my video. You shoot with a high end camera, you're gonna make some very large files. So this camera right here, my Sony A7 IV, you know, 5 or 10 minutes of 4K 24 adds up real fast. So I definitely needed a drive to store it. I've been rocking off a 2 terabyte and it's been fine. But the problem is, depending on what I'm doing, sometimes I'll put it on my external, sometimes I'll do internal. So I can run out of space sometimes. And but the 2 terabyte, when you start to put a lot of files on and you want to edit with it, your scratch disk is stupid big. You know, like let's say I have, I don't know, pulled from my card, you know, an average like talking head video with my overhead camera, will probably fall around, depending on how long it is, 40 to 80 gigs on average, you know. That's just for the content. Then when I pull it into Final Cut and start doing all my edits and my, you know, all the stuff, I'm not gonna get into details with Final Cut. When I start doing all my edits, that file will balloon. So if it's 80, it'll balloon to say 600 gigs, like that, you know. So it adds up quickly. And even with the 2 terabyte, you can run space. So 4 is a really good number for me. I have said it. My next computer will have a 4 terabyte hard drive in it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can I get away with 2? Yes. And as a DJ, you DJs out there, 1 terabyte, it's fine. It's more than enough for most people out there. If I've said it, if you're doing over, I have a 1.5 terabytes of music. In my opinion, you're doing it wrong. You're absolutely doing it wrong. Even in my best days, my best moments, having all the music, I will never come close to DJing with that much music in a 6-hour period. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Go in there and clean out some stuff. Clean out your drive. So for my son, he's going to end up with he's going to get a terabyte. It's more than enough. Do I think 2 terabytes is great? Yeah. Especially if you're doing a lot of, like audio production, video production, anything like that. If you're doing that outside stuff, that's not just DJing, then yes, 2 terabytes is good. If you're doing video like me, I think 4 terabytes is the sweet spot. But I think it's just like your home. You buy your home and you fill it up with shit. Buy a bigger home, you fill it up with more shit. So it's also about being disciplined, but I don't want to swap stuff out. I had a friend of mine that had a 256 gigabyte hard drive on his DJ computer. And every time we had to clone his drive, you had to delete. You had to delete iTunes off and then put it back on afterwards. Like it was an absolute nightmare. So it's okay. If you want to splurge on anything, storage space is never a bad thing. Never. Okay, let's answer some questions, or let's see what people are saying. AJ, your opinions on gear are by far my favorite content. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. And look, again, you guys know, MacBook Airs do not overheat Mac Attack. That is a statement. It's a generalized statement. You can't just say MacBook Airs overheat. No, they don't. They can potentially overheat if you put them in situations where they're going to be a problem. But in general, an M1 or M3, I'm not talking about an M2, M1 or M3 MacBook Air, generally speaking, not going to overheat. Generally speaking, the chips are just so much better in them that you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Now, if you know you're going to be out and you're operating in 105 degree heat all the time, then yes, definitely get one with a fan. But my son is not DJing, in the desert. My son is DJing in very specific places, and again, My money only goes so far. But yeah, they're typically fine. I mean, God's sakes, people are DJing on iPads now. iPads are even worse. I wouldn't personally, put all my faith in just iPad, but to each their own. Okay. DJ Me Tree, or is it My Try? I don't know. The question on Juneteenth was late, as is the Black Friday question. That's funny. So what I was saying is that you guys know that I have the YouTube channel, but I also have a very, very active IG channel, like very active. So make sure you guys are following me on IG. I post at least 2 to 3 times a week on IG, which includes like my stories, my reels, and then normal stuff. And if I'm reviewing product, like for instance, I have the Impulse T7. If something is cool that I see real quick that I like, I'll make a video. I'll make a quick video about it. So make sure you're following me on IG. There's a lot of stuff and different stuff, but all DJ related. But I think I make original content, and I think it's pretty good. I haven't done any acting ones lately. I just haven't had time. But it'll come soon. Okay. Aaron says, I wish I bought the 14 instead of the 16. Yeah. Look, and I get it. For some people, a lot of people will say the 16, which makes it so special, is it's just the it has so much screen. The screen real estate. People don't want to leave that. And I get it. Absolutely get it. But when I'm DJing, I want less stuff everywhere than more. And when I put my 14 on, it can fit anywhere. Even if I've like forgotten my stand, it'll still fit places. But I have a 40-inch monitor, 42-inch monitor on my desk. So when I'm at my desk, I plug everything in and I rock off the monitor, and then I use my actual screen as the secondary screen. So I understand what you're saying, but I wanted the ability to get around with it easier and not just, I need the real estate. I'm willing to sacrifice. It's like people that used to buy remember the old MacBook Pro 17? People are like, I just love the real estate. I'm like, yeah, but it's humongous and you can't take it anywhere. And the hinge is questionable at best, but it was a cool. And if you never moved it off your desk, it's great. Now the 16 is nowhere near the size of the 17. So I know I'm being extreme, but it's still a thing. So the 14, to be honest with you, the best computer, best is the wrong term. My favorite computer that Apple ever made. And I sold it because I just couldn't use it. But that MacBook Air 12-inch was wonderful. It was the perfect size for just doing everything, but not doing all the things. Like I wouldn't use it to DJ, but like just having it around as a computer that like I could just, answer emails, and it was still a full OS. So I could do things if I needed to make a quick edit, I could do that. That MacBook 12, was my favorite computer. Favorite computer. But again, I had sold it off and had to buy what did I buy? Because I already had a MacBook Pro. It was my secondary computer. What did I buy? I probably bought an iPad, a newer iPad. But yeah, that was my favorite computer. Favorite. The 14 is coming real close to that. Now, as far as being the best of both worlds, I don't think there's a better computer than the MacBook Pro 14 Pro. I don't think so. I honestly don't. It is legitimately the sweet spot for computing. All that power, but being able to move around with it and get it in tight corners. Like I've literally edited videos and produced music right on the airplane. Plenty of room. It's just a perfect, like I've used that thing where attendants have come up, like stewards and stewardess. I don't know, flight attendants. I don't know what they're called anymore. And they're like, what size is that? Like, oh, it's 14. They're like, thank you. Because people ask, what size is a good size? And they saw it and it was the perfect size. Okay. DJ Dell says, thoughts on a portable battery station. Do DJs need one just in case? And I would say this, it depends on your contract, what you need. So what I mean by that is if your contract states your requirements require power, then technically you don't need one. Now, if you want to be that person, I'll have to help out and I love to, great, more power to you. But as a DJ, if you are in the sticks, or if you're in a place where it's questionable power, I'm not just bringing one. I mean, I'm going to charge you for it, or I'm just going to build it into my prices where it's always a cost and it's a line item on their contract that says, generator, battery backup for emergencies. But yeah, I'm not just going to bring one. I'm the save the day guy up to a point. But if you want me to fix your venue's power issues, that's not in my contract. You should have hired a electrician, not a DJ. I know that sounds harsh, but hey, you get to a certain point, and you're like, that's not in my job description. It's not in my job description. My job description is DJing and rocking your party, not fixing your circuit board. DJ Reach just purchased the Pioneer Express 18 subs. Thanks for your review. Keep it up. We appreciate it. They're great subs. They're great subs. They're not hitters. I said this. I like people to understand when I say things, because people always want to try to mince my words up. And I was very specific when I said, those subs in particular, they don't hit like a QSC 118. They're warm. So they remind me of like the old JBL Eon 18s. They're a warm sound. The JBL Eon series, when it was the 500 series, I think that was like the peak of their portable, cheaper audio line. That 500 series was the best speakers that they've made. And I don't think maybe with their brand new series, I mean, there was 5, I think, what are they at? They're at 900 now. So they had to go 4 series to get back to what the 500s were. And that's what the Express 18 sounds like to me, like the Eon 18. Nat Zing says, hey, might upgrade RCAs on my turntables, MK2s. Okay. Any recommendations for type of cable and length? Is 3 foot long enough, trying to get power? So here's one of those things. I don't know. I take mine in and get done. I'm not trying to open up and I know it's not complicated, but I'm not the guy. I don't know which cables to buy or which ones. But I always take them to my DJ guy, and he just does them for me. But 3 feet should be long enough, because you're only going from your turntables to your mixer, and your mixer should be right next to it. So 3 feet should be fine. You don't want to make it too long, and now you got to find space for this RCA that you never really needed to have that distance. So I think 3 feet's fine. Matt Ames in the building. What's going on, fam? Shure handheld wireless mic. No, I don't typically change the change it on the Shure, unless Mo is asking me to review. Sure. You guys got to make sure that when you say things, you put them in full sentences so I can kind of understand. Because remember, I'm going back. I'm like he who remains. I'm talking somewhere, and you guys are completely in a different time period than I am in. By the way, I know that Marvel's having problems right now with their content. They're making some questionable movies. I know this. I'm still a big Marvel fan, but I know that they're making this. The one thing they got right, Loki, that series on Disney Plus is one of the best series I've ever watched. You got to watch Loki. If you have Disney Plus, take the time. It's 2 seasons, and it's a perfect arc. watch Loki. Amazing. Okay. Portable drives should never be the main anyway. Well, a lot of people disagree with you on that. A lot of people think that, and when you say main, I'm talking about like having all of your music on there, people DJ on there. It's not for me. I've done it. Had experience with it. I've had USB drives pop out of the port, and now my entire system is legitimately crashed and I have to reset the whole thing. I'm just not into it anymore. For me, I'm not everybody. I get it. It is what it is. Do your thing. But for me specifically, I'm not doing it. At least now they have like cool little magnets and stuff that like will attach to your computer. So it's not just dangling anymore. Like they've come a long way. I appreciate that. Just not for me. It's not for me. You might hear our gardeners are outside right now doing gardening things, and it's going to get a little loud. So I'm going to move real quick to commercial, and I will be right back.
This is a journey into sound. This is a journey. This is a journey into sound. Sound.
All right. Jim says, SanDisk G Drive SSDs have been a pleasure to work with for Macs. Yeah. And here's the thing. People will complain about Western Digital drives too. Oh, they have failures. I have never had a single Western Digital drive fail on me. Not one. Not one. And then when Western Digital, obviously, they own SanDisk now. People are like, oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to have problems now. Now we're going to have failure across the board. It just depends. It just depends. Now, I'm hoping that the SanDisk drive that we won't even get there. Okay. Simeon Israel says, what is or what will be the future competition to the Rev 7? Well, if there's going to be competition, it's going to come from Rain. The question is, are they willing to make something that is not a monstrosity? Because I know a lot of people are trying to push a 4-channel, basically a Rain 4M. People would love to see a Rain 4 mobile, and I don't, because I know that thing's going to be so heavy. It's already way too big. I would like to see a Rain 1 Mark II with internal effects, a slightly bigger mixer setting, and that's about it. If they can do that, I think there'll be plenty of competition for Pioneer DJ. Honestly, that's all they need to do, in my opinion. That's it. And then that would be competition, but we'll see what they do. As I said before, they've gone kind of radio silent. I did put my feelers out to the guys out there. And I don't know, it feels like it's kind of the same thing where they're like, yeah, we don't really know what's happening. So, I mean, there's some stuff in the pipeline, as there always is, but it's just radio silent. You cannot operate that way. You cannot be a company, a business with no marketing, with no push, without being, in the community. You just can't do that. So we'll see what happens. Tom, thanks for hanging out today. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Okay. Has Serato fixed their stability issues with a new update yet? I mean, look, every time a new update comes out, something else might go wrong. It is just the nature of software and having multiple computers. I haven't had any issues, and I'm on the latest update now, but it just depends on your computer. Certain times they make something like, oh, I didn't realize this computer had problems. And then you just deal with it. So I don't know. I need to back up my music now that I think about it. Yes, exactly. I'm not saying, okay, so I'm not saying back up. First off, if you're just backing up your music folder, let's say you're on a Mac, you just take your music folder and you throw it in the cloud, you'll be fine. And if you're that concerned, zip it up and then send it to the drive. Send it that way. You're not worried about random files disappearing on you. But it's the backup. Look at it this way. If you do have a cloud backup, and let's just say you don't trust it, which is fine. Look at it this way. Would you rather lose it all or lose 3 or 4 files if you were going to have a problem with the cloud? Your computer fails. Now you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Is it better to just be like, oh, I don't have, this is how we do it anymore. Let me go re-download it. Or I don't have any music. So you decide what's more important, Kalo. I would say do both. I would honestly say get yourself an external hard drive, which I do. I have my solid states I don't use for backups. My solid states are used for actual work. So all my video stuff goes on the SSDs. I have like a couple of 4 and 8 terabyte hard drives that are disk spinning that I throw multiple backups on, and it's fine. I honestly don't even care about my computer. In all honesty, I don't need to have my entire computer backed up. I really just need to have my music folder backed up. Everything else I run, now that I think about it, it's either an iCloud or Dropbox. So it doesn't really matter to me. I care, and yes, obviously it's a 1-to-1. It's cloned down or copied down, but I don't care about that stuff. I just care about my music. That's it. And the more you curate, the more you get rid of stuff and you add new stuff and you find new versions and you find this, the more you do that, the more scared you become. Because being a DJ, yes, you can DJ on anything, but having your music where it's supposed to be just makes you so much better. So much better. I think it's the difference between a DJ that's all right or just good and a DJ that is great, because your DJing skill sets, your hands, how you mix, how you scratch, your tricks, that's going to be you no matter what. But if you're playing BS music because you don't know, or if you're having to search for things because you're not organized, it's going to affect your DJing. I mean, there's nothing better than just like knowing your stuff is just like right where it needs to be. You're more relaxed. And I'm not talking about, I have a playlist and I go from 1 down to 57. I'm not talking about that, because you never really want to, you don't want to be doing the same playlist every time you DJ. So for that thing, I don't focus on, but you should at least have, your R&B 2000s and your R&B 90s. They should be in their own folders. Your hip hop, 2000s. They should be in their own dedicated folders. And then you can just stay in there. So if you get to a spot, I had to start doing this Latin club again, La Descarga, because my partner is on maternity leave. So I've picked up some dates from him. And and he's like, I'm like, to be honest with you, because I wasn't supposed to get on until next week. But I said, you know what? I should probably come because it's a Tuesday. Now, normally when I DJ at this club, it's Fridays and Saturdays if I'm going to DJ there, which means that, it's just club goers. So I'm playing just a shit ton of reggaeton, less salsa, more reggaeton, more upbeat reggaeton, all that stuff. Maybe some Afro, a little bit there, here and there. So that's easier. They're drunk, they're going to dance. When you DJ on Tuesday and it's like a salsa class in the beginning, and you're DJing, well, now it's more salsa heavy and you don't play reggaeton until 11:30, 12 o'clock. And then you play that till 1:30. So I said, I should probably come by and at least see how Tuesdays are, so I know what I'm dealing with. I don't want to walk into a place and then you think you're playing a certain way and they're like, no, what are you doing? So I like to be prepared. By the way, we should all be prepared. We should all, if somebody says, hey, I want to book you for a DJ gig at this nightclub, whatever, you should go there. You should go there. You should go there on the same day that you're supposed to DJ, not the same day, but on the same day. Like, oh, I'm DJing on Friday. I'm going to go there Friday before, and I'm going to see what the vibe is. You know, I'm going to see what the people are like when they come, when they show up, what they're getting amped to. And it's okay to do your own thing and provide your own story. I'm not saying copy what the DJ is doing, but you should go into it knowing what the people are expecting, you know, and then give it to them in your way. So I'm like, I'm going to come on Tuesday and I'm going to see what's going on. And he's like, oh, well, you know, the baby's a newborn. So if you could come and then stay afterwards, and I'm going to leave at like 12 to kind of go, you know, check it, to go back to the family, which is funny. I'll talk about the other side of this because he's a talker. Anyway, so, and I said, look, man, I haven't updated like my Latin stuff for a little while because I haven't been doing these gigs. It hasn't been a priority for me. So he's sending me stuff. He's like, this is what I use. This is what I use. To make a long story short, because I at least had a very good, clean folder for my stuff, I barely went into his music. Because I was good. So being organized is so important. Now, I truly believe that he took that opportunity to listen to me DJ too. Because when I got on like, I don't know, 12:05 or whatever. And then I saw him and he's talking security and doing his thing. He's a talker. So, you know, he's always schmoozing and doing his thing. So he's in there and then he was gone for a while. And I thought he was gone at like, I don't know, 12:45, 1:00. He walks up like, perfect. This is perfect. I'm like, why am I here? But he also wanted to hear me because I think a lot of people, every time I DJ there, they always tell him, oh, he's a really good DJ. You know, oh, you should bring him back. And he's never really able to hear me because if I'm working, he's somewhere else. It's just funny. And I just kind of laughed it off. It's no big deal. Okay. Tom says, I can make 512 work perfectly for me. 256 gig is just enough, but 512 is plenty. I'm not saying 512 won't work for you. I'm saying that 512 in my book, and I'm not just talking about music, I'm talking about everything you do. If you decide to do anything else in your life, I want to do this now. 512 may be limiting. I think 1 terabyte, you have freedom. You know, you don't have to worry if you're not thinking about, oh, if I download this or if I do this or if I do that, or if I want to keep my entire movie collection, you know, on my computer. I'm not thinking, oh my God, what if? That's all I'm saying. But 256 is a nightmare. Okay. All right, let's see here. Nobody needs more than 25,000 tracks. Nobody needs 25,000 tracks. Most people don't need 10,000 tracks. I should probably look. I'm curious. I'll come back to that. DJ 1740 in the building. Pablo Miami in the building. What's going on? Okay. Pablo says 2019 and 20 have overheating issues, but fixable. The new MacBook Airs were solid. Yeah. I mean, the 20s, that was before the M1s. Yeah. So I get that. I completely get that. You know, my son, he had a MacBook Air before he basically stepped on it. And, he didn't have any problems. He was DJing off of his MacBook Air in 2020 while streaming, running a video card in his hot ass room. Cause you know, when you're streaming, everything's hot. Like this room, it is 59 degrees outside. This room is probably still 75 degrees because I have my fan on right now. I know I have my hoodie on, but I have my fan on because the room just gets hot. You know, this computer gets hot. The lights get hot. Everything gets hot. So he was running all this stuff off his MacBook Air before, running it through a USB hub. It never died on him. Now it was tough. You know, he had a little trouble. He couldn't run all the visuals and things like that, but just to DJ a stream, It's fine. So if you're just DJing, maybe rocking some video, the MacBook Air will be fine, but again, I mean, even in my opinion, if I'm going out and it's 105, even with my MacBook Pro M1, I'm still bringing a backup because you never know what's going to happen. I might bring my XMG for something like that just in case. It's just being prepared, but I haven't had my MacBook Pro unless it's a bad piece of software. It doesn't go above 75 Celsius, 79 maybe. I've never seen it just hit 80 just in like heavy processes, because by the time it hits 80 or 85, 90, the fans come on for 4 seconds, and you don't come on. I'm doing 4K 422 video edits, and my fans don't come on in Final Cut. They don't come on. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. Okay, let's see. After each gig, they update their library with new music and replace the tracks that didn't vibe well. Yeah, I don't know that I don't go that far as just removing every song, because there's a place for it. But there's certain songs, it's usually the older stuff, because I don't download now unless I absolutely need to download. Like the songs being requested all the time. I'm playing it all the time. I typically now, besides new stuff and stuff that like I gotta play, I stream a lot of stuff now, and if I find myself streaming it more than I think, then I download it. But yeah, I don't download a lot anymore. I really don't. I probably download more for like my personal DJ mixes and like club stuff than anything else. Like my regular parties, I don't download that much. Anyway, okay. Yeah, so Tom is saying many DJs keep playing. Yeah, so when I'm DJing spots, that's when I'm playing different stuff. When I'm DJing clubs, nightclubs, but everybody's different. I'm DJing my 90% of the stuff I DJ are private events. So that doesn't change much. Just the way you spend it changes. So it's been fine for me. But yeah, you can get caught up and lost, which is what I don't do anymore. Cause I used to, you go on to DJ City or BPM Supreme, whatever, and you download, 100 songs. I haven't done that in probably 8 years. I think probably during the pandemic, I was downloading a lot more, trying to update my database. But like now I download maybe 3 to 5 songs for regular parties. I do more work when I'm DJing, like when I'm DJing like nightclubs and undergrounds and things like that, but okay. Let's see here. Okay. I am not a full-time DJ, so I don't have much time to analyze and delete my music based off of what worked and what didn't. Well, why not? I mean, in all honesty, why can't you? I've deleted songs while I'm DJing. In other words, what's wrong with that? You're going through your stuff and you're like, oh, like maybe you type in, a song, and then you got 10 versions of that song pop up. Well, when I'm playing the one that I'm playing that works, I'll go and I'll delete all the other ones literally in the middle of my DJing set. It's like, think of it like cooking. The best way to cook is to cook and clean at the same time. When you're done with that dish, just clean it while it's right there. That way you don't have a big ass pile of dishes at the end. Do the same thing. So instead of like I've done this, I'll go search for a song and I'll go, why do I have 6 versions of this? Oh, because one's a 128 and then one's a 384 and then one is a remix that I'll never play again. And one's this, delete it right then and there. Right then and there, get rid of it. Do it on the fly. It'll help you. I promise you, or if I'm like playing music and I'm searching for a song, and I'm like, oh, why did I just have to search for that song? Because it's not in the folder I need it to be. Put it in that folder right then and there. Don't wait. Just put it in the folder. That way you have you're making a physical action, which is going to lock in your mental to make sure you remember where you put it. You know, I've been deleting folders, deleting crates like crazy. You know, like when I'm scrolling through, like, what is this? Delete. I look in the folder real quick. If I look in the folder and there's nothing in there that I care about, just delete the folder. Not the music. Delete the folder. Get it off my list. I'm trying to be more organized. It is a ongoing process that will never stop. You will always be organizing. Always. So just make it a part of your routine. Tom, yes, VDJ does require a graphics card. That's good, unfortunately. And there's nothing you can do about that. Okay, let's see how far back I am. I'm far enough back to not see Pablo's jokes. If you have been a DJ for many years, or 10 years, for example, you might have 25,000 tracks, but likely, yeah. So, you know, look, I've been DJing for a lot longer than 10 years. And even I don't have 25,000 tracks. It's ridiculous. And I'm talking personal music. Now, one of the things that has helped me, I won't lie, is I'm an Apple Music subscriber. And one of the things that's helped me is a lot of music that I play from my car or from my phone is just on my phone streaming. You know, I'm not downloading, it's just streaming. So I haven't had to download a lot of files because they're in the cloud. You know, it's a streaming service. So that's helped a lot. Before, you know, you download everything because you need to get it to your computer and then get that to your iPod and then go from there. You don't have to do that anymore. So a lot of music, I just don't carry anymore. Just don't carry, you know? And if I'm streaming stuff, then I'm like, oh, that'd be dope for a mix. That'd be dope for this. Yeah. Then I'll pull those tracks, you know? And I'm talking, I play all genres and, still don't hit anywhere near that number. Okay. Tom says I have 3,000 tracks and my goal is to hit 10,000. So I know I have a good selection. You don't need 10,000 files. You don't need 10,000 songs. Sorry. Because what ends up happening is let's say you do anything. Okay. And in anything you do, let's say it's a very specific type of party. Okay. So maybe it's a nightclub. It's a Latin club. It's a reggae club. It's a rock club. It's a something club. It's a hip hop club. Even then, you will never go through that many songs. Even then, not possible. So I think even 10,000 is too many songs. Anyway, but teach their own. You want to be the hoarder? Hoard all you want. I'm not here to judge you. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's go drop down. What's going on? This is like a fight. There's like a fight going on in here. Yeah. So my songs are simple. Typically speaking, if it's a pop song in general, I will have the regular, you know, intro, outro, maybe. Might have a short edit, but usually speaking, if I have a short edit, I won't, especially if it's like one of those disposable songs, I won't carry the full version. But in general, the way it works is I will probably have one version for pop, one version for like house EDM. If there's like a feature on one version, I might have the feature. That's about it. You know, typically speaking, 2 to 3 versions, because the problem is people get caught up in like, I have the house version, and then I have the EDM, tech house version, and then I have a reggae version. Then I have this. Looking in that house version, you're probably only playing the same version of that house, of that remix every time. you're probably not playing 4 different versions of your house remix. It's just not realistic. You find one that you like and you typically stick with it. Like for instance, perfect example, don't know why, Rihanna's Diamonds. I have the original, which still works, still a hit. I have a reggae version because I do lounges and I do like chill spots. And it's a dope ass version. And then I have an EDM version if I'm at a club and I'm trying to keep the energy up and maybe I want to go back to something popular. 3 versions. That's all you need. Typically, once you get up to 5 and 7 and 8, you're just filling up your hard drive, in my opinion. Okay. Amiv says, I got a good pair of VM8s after watching your video. Got them on Black Friday deal. First studio monitors, and they are pretty cool. Good looking out. My pleasure. My pleasure. Roy Calwitz says, have you noticed the tracks from iTunes record pools have more reverb echo added to them? I have not. The only time I notice reverb is when Serato stems don't do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes, usually on an update, when stems has problems, you'll go to drop out the bass and all of a sudden the thing will split up and it'll sound like it's like a reverb. But in general, I don't hear any reverb on any music I download. I'm curious to know if what software you're using, because sometimes there is a way to get that reverb on accident when you're not thinking about it in Serato, and it's a fluke. And let me know what's going on. Okay. DJ Red 23 says, which cloud service do you use for backing up? Oh, I have iCloud and Dropbox. I have a 2 terabyte Dropbox and a 2 terabyte iCloud. Actually, I have and a Google Drive. So I pay for Dropbox from my Cleveland Terry. That's where all of my files go and people send stuff to me. The iCloud is because I use Apple devices in my house. So I have a big iCloud because I have family streaming or family cloud. My Google Drive, I didn't want to do, but I got into a point where the free wasn't enough and I couldn't delete stuff out fast enough to clear it out. So I had to pay the $1.99 a month or whatever for the Google Drive. So I have 3 different large capacity drives in the cloud. And they've all been fine. Every one of them. Okay. All right. I wonder why most DJs I come across that use Macs never use Time Machine for a complete backup of your systems. It's so easy and free. I'll tell you why. Because Time Machine is a space eater. Time Machine is not a one-to-one. Time Machine will take your drive and then it will kind of update, but then you risk, it's supposed to be a one-to-one, but it will add things, it will look for things. I just like the fact that when I do a clone, it is a specific state in time that I know exactly what it is. Okay. So I use Super Duper. But we're saying the same thing. It's still a backup. You still need an external hard drive for the backup. But I have never trusted. Trust is the wrong word. Because in the beginning, the Time Machine files, because they want to keep multiple versions. I think they keep up to like 2 or 3. I think you might be able to set it now, but before they were keeping multiple versions. So that drive was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, I don't want this. I just want to back it up. So, to each their own. All right. Gets fun to hover on those playlists, hit prepare, select all, and start searching. I just, when I'm DJing or not when I'm working on stuff in the office, if there's a playlist I want, I'll just play it from there. It's just easier that way. I'm now definitely more reactive to songs I don't play anymore. I can't have them on there. honestly, if I have not played that song ever, give or take. If I pull up a 90s track and I'm like, oh, why haven't I played that? That's different. But if it's like some random version of a download or some alternative track that like, I like a lot of alternative music, like that's kind of my thing. I grew up and I play hip hop. Hip hop is my foundation, but like I play a lot of alternative stuff, and it's funny because like my music update for 23 was not it's what I expected, but it's not. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. Like my number, let's see here, my top artist, and that's probably hard. Top artist, System of a Down. I'm a gym rat. Mickey Miller, Self, DJ Babu, Hiatus Coyote. My top songs are from Mickey Miller, Disclosure, Wave to Earth. Top albums: Choose Your Weapon, Imagine, Chasing Status, No More Idols, Sam Dew, Moonlit Fools, Arctic Monkeys. I'm telling you, my top artists of 22, Sam Dew, Yeba, Son Lux, Emok, On Planets. I'm diverse. So it is, so I know that there's stuff like that's going to be in my folders and in my files that I'm going to keep for me. They're just for me. I get it. If I'm DJing at a place and I'm like, hey, you know what? This is a chill vibe. You never heard this track. I'm gonna play this for you real quick. Like, I know that exists. I get it, but I don't keep everything now. I just don't. Okay, let's jump around a little bit here. eSwift says, what are you using? Are you using Cold Sparks? And if so, which ones? How's your experience with them? So I don't have a name for them because I bought them overseas. I bought them in China. So I don't have a name. I can try to find out the name. I'd have to go to my warehouse to figure it out. But they have been perfect. Haven't had any issues with them. Haven't had any failures. If I've had failures, it's because of a failure on our end. Like for instance, they didn't do a good job of cleaning out the powder. So the sparkler isn't operating at maximum capacity. That's pretty much it. Everything else, I haven't had a single problem with them. But I also don't try to put them at, top speed and they're shooting up 20 feet. So everybody's different though. But yeah, haven't had a problem. I don't know the name though, unfortunately. Okay. AJ says, okay, Tom, you're throwing out advice that I don't agree with. 256 is not enough. It's not enough. No matter who you are, 256 is not enough. So if you're going to say things, these are professional DJs here. Let's give them information that they can actually utilize. I would not do anything with a 256 gigabyte drive. I've already talked about that. So 512 is the minimum. 512 is the minimum. 1 terabyte is the recommended, but 512 is the minimum. That's the number. Nobody should buy a 256 gig hard drive unless you're 7 years old and it's your first laptop and all you do is homework on it. That's it. If you were doing anything entertainment wise or anything artistic, you will be frustrated within 2 years, and your computer should last you, a good, I want to say 5 to 10 years. Your computer should last you. These M1s, M1 should easily last you 7 to 10 years. Easily. Absolutely easily. Unless you just want to update. That's a different story altogether. Okay. Anyway. I don't mean Fahrenheit. I mean Celsius. And Docs blocks. I know what I said. You do realize that a computer chip gets hella hot. A normal computer chip, like their tolerances, it's like 120, 130 degrees. Like it's extreme. So people are always like, oh, it gets hot in there. People, it's a computer. It's gonna get hot. So usually speaking, when your old Intels, your i9s and your i7s were idling at 90 degrees Celsius, that's a hot ass computer. They were destined for failure. They needed the M1. They absolutely needed the M1s. Now it's butter. It's butter. DJing only. What MacBook or MacBook Air will suffice for Sry? I mean, we talked about that. Any M1 will work. Any M1 will work. Okay. Ratbone in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Tom, are you an EDM club DJ as well as a turntables open format? How many years have been DJing? A long time. I don't need to get into the exact years, but I am an open format DJ. Absolutely an open format DJ. I picked up the Mixstream Go for ceremony. Have you heard if Engine will ever use an offline locker? They're working on it. And I think, I don't know when, but it's on their list. It's absolutely on their list. It's BPM music that drops supreme. Yeah. I don't care. Okay. Cocktail music time. It's time to organize and go through music. Absolutely. I like playing with my audience live on the mic. Pablo, how have your beat topper lights been working out? Any issues? I had one issue. And beat topper just contacted me. They want me to do some more stuff for them. I had one DMX fail on me where it still runs in auto, but I can't operate it via DMX. Now it could have been a me thing where, it was in a situation where I did something and broke something in it. I don't know. But besides that, they've been great. They still work just like they were supposed to, besides the one with the DMX. So I don't use them anymore because I need to replace the one. And I'll probably just end up replacing both of them when they send me some new ones, because I really did like them. That's the kind of thing I like for dance floors, because color washes are just easy and they provide the perfect amount of light, and you don't have to worry about shapes and pissing people off because you got gobo shapes on the dance floor and they don't want gobo shapes. They just want color. So I do want to get another one. Diamond Lee in the building. What's going on, fam? Okay. Has Tidal removed stems for you? Strangely enough, no. Tidal has not removed stems for me. I have the latest update and I can still use stems. I don't know why, because apparently some people can't, but I haven't had a problem. Beat Source is perfect. Beat Source is very, very good. I wouldn't call it perfect, but it's good. It's definitely good. There's still to this day songs where I find them in Tidal and I don't find them in Beat Source. Now, obviously, Beat Source has intros and outros, which nobody else has. So that's the qualifier. Beat Source has an excellent curated playlist all across the board. That's a qualifier, but I can't say that it's perfect. Let's see here. Lexicon is a decent library management system. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So is Mixmaster GNL's suite of applications too. They're good. I do like Lexicon. I do a really good job with it. And it's, the interface is very nice. It's clean. It's easy. So yes, it's definitely one that I would say is in my top two. There's another one that's trying to get me to look at their library management too. I haven't even looked at what they're offering. But there's several out there. Radbone says, on my beat toppers, I had that happen and did a hard reset and the DMX worked again. So I tried the hard reset and it did not fix for me. But it is what it is. I'm not really worried about it. I'll try it again. Like I was literally about to, neither here nor there. Engine Prime, is it good? Yes, it is good. It's very good. No problem with it. you know, if you're using obviously all-in-one controllers. Don Ralpha says, for your Latin gig at the bar club, do you stream Tidal Beat Source? Okay, this is a very good question. I mean, look, I have Wi-Fi in the club, so in general, I don't need to. But if somebody asks for a song and I don't have it, I'll pull it and stream it. You know, I am one of those people that if I'm doing a club or anything that I'm not as familiar with, like I don't know it like the back of my hand. I'm the first one to say, hey, I'll take what you're asking for and take a listen to it. And if it's good, I'll pull it into my thing. You know, I've found several songs. People are like, oh, can you play this one song? And I'm like, that thing is hidden. People are screaming left and right. Okay, make sure I have that. Beat Source. So when I did, Beat Source has an excellent reggaeton playlist. Like every song that I played was like perfect. Like, and again, it was a lot of stuff that I already had, but even the stuff that I didn't have, I dropped those things and people were screaming like, okay, they're doing a good job here. They're doing an absolute good job here. Did you hear that Solstice finally upgraded from a Hercules 500 to a Rain 4? I did not hear that, but congratulations to Solstice. That was always a thing for me. You know, when I would watch his videos, I don't watch a lot of YouTube guys videos. It's just, I don't know. If I'm on YouTube, I'd rather do something that I want to do, like be enjoyed by. But on occasion, I'll try to watch videos. Like I'll watch Mojax. Who else do I watch a lot of? I watch Mojax. I watch PJ, Brian Journey. I watch Carlos, although I don't watch all of Carlos, but I do watch Carlos, especially if it's like a video that like, oh, that's interesting. And I'll watch that one. I'll watch an occasional DJ Digital Tips. And what else? There's one more out there. I can't think of the name right now. Anyway, it just depends. And I'll watch some Nick stuff. Yeah, some Nick stuff too. Absolutely. You know, and basically anybody that I consider a friend, I will watch their stuff. What I don't watch is, I've told people this, I don't watch any embargo video. Meaning if we all have the product and we're all reviewing it, I won't watch anybody's embargo videos. If I do, it's like 4 or 5 days after I've posted my video. Why? For two reasons. One, I mean, sometimes they might get them earlier than me or release their video earlier than me. And, I don't want to see their video because I don't want it to mess with what I'm seeing in the same thing. And also, on the flip side, I don't watch people's videos after on an embargo because, I also don't want to see if I missed something big. I want to be in denial for a couple of days. You know, in all honesty, that's definitely an ego thing, you know, but it just depends, you know. Rain 1 price is really good right now. Still might get one. Okay. More power to you. There's nothing wrong with the Rain 1, you know. Let's see. John Smith, Spinelli lost an unlocked to his truck trailer. He talked about getting Apple tags. I'm a big fan of Apple tags. You should absolutely, if you can, put them in everything. I mean, everything I have has some version of Apple tag. Like I even put an Apple tag in my daughter's backpack, you know, just because she loves to leave it places. Not like she's getting abducted. Like I'm not trying to say that, but she loves to leave her things places, and it's just a good thing to have. But like I had an Apple tag fall like in its cushion of my truck, and I'm like, I'll just leave it there. I did not hear that, guys. I'm hearing this right now as everybody's talking about he got his rig ripped off. That's insane. I'll have to give him a call. I did not know that. That sucks. Trust me, I know, because I had a rental vehicle when I was in Arizona. You guys probably saw the video. They broke into my truck and they stole half the stuff in it. And the only reason why they didn't steal it all is because they where it was backed up, they couldn't get everything out of it. But I've been there, done that. There's absolutely nothing worse than that, which is why I always tell people, no matter what you do, you can always replace gear. You can always replace gear, but you can't replace like your computer. So take your computer. I've left full systems in the back of my truck before, and I always bring my computer inside. Always. Yeah, people are bad now. Right now, people are bad. It's just the way it is. They're desperate, you know, they don't have the money. They're trying to figure out any way they can to make money. And I'm not justifying this at all. But I'm just saying right now in the state that we are in America, with the inflation and everything, people are looking for every opportunity to steal your shit. Every opportunity. You know, I mean, I've never seen so many cars driving through jewelry shops and doing smash and grabs. I've never seen that. That was never a thing. You know, 30 people running into a Target and stealing tons of stuff. I've never seen that. It's a whole new level of thievery, whole new level. So, you know, just be prepared. You know where you are, you know, and I know where you're parked, know all these things. Like I know that's an issue, you know, but just, you know, fortunately for me, I'm in a very, very safe neighborhood. I've said that before. I have 3 police officers that live on my block, and I'm not on a major street. I'm in a multiple cul-de-sac area. It's not easy for people to just, you know, get into my area. You know, we don't have any robberies or anything in my neighborhood. It's a very, very safe neighborhood. And I love it. It's one of those streets where you just drive by, you don't realize that there's an entire neighborhood in it. So I'm happy to be where I am, in all honesty. DJ Banks, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Kamu says, have you tried the Rev 5 on Record Box? Yeah. Seems like the features aren't as plug and play as in Serato. Was adding Record Box in Afterthought? Absolutely not. No. I always find in general that Record Box tends to work a little bit better than Serato does. Now, one of the reasons that you're probably not noticing is because there's a lot of parity in this particular hardware. Like this, a lot of the stuff that the effects and things that were pretty much specific to Record Box, they're now porting over to Serato. So yes, Record Box sync system sucks. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Serato doesn't even have a sync system, so there's that. Anyway. I got a last minute gig because the other DJ laptop was stolen. While he was setting up, my laptop stays with me at all times. That's insane. So we actually had a speaker. We had a speaker disappear on us this weekend. So our cocktail speaker, which was a Mackie Thumb Go, was we were at a high-end hotel, super high-end. Like this hotel always has like all the NBA games and hockey games, all that stuff. They always stay there. So we were at this hotel just last Saturday, and the cocktail amp speaker was outside, and there was some weird configuration where they had to have everybody go all the way around and come back around again. It was kind of a nightmare. To make a long story short, the dancers that I have a crew with me forgot to bring the cocktail speaker in. So when we're breaking down, and again, this area, everybody was out there. The photo booth was out there. So it wasn't like it was just sitting out there on its own, isolated. So they went to go grab the speaker, and they're like, the speaker's not out there. So, and we have 2 of them, so it wasn't a big deal, but speaker's not out there. So we asked the venue, hey, you know what? Did anybody turn in a speaker? Maybe somebody picked it up as they were breaking down, whatever. And they're like, nope, we'll check the video and we'll get back to you. I said, cool. Now we were at the beach, so the pier is right there. So my biggest concern was somebody was just, you know, walking around, saw a speaker, grabbed it and took off. That's what I assumed. They call me, actually the party planner calls me and says, hey, so I don't know what to do here because I just talked to the venue and there are cameras around the entire venue. You can't do anything nowadays. There's cameras everywhere. And She says, I don't know what to do because if you called me and says, okay, we have it on video here, it appears from what I can see right here that the photo booth guy grabbed it and then put it into his truck. So she calls the photo booth company and says, hey, yeah, so they said that you guys might have picked up on accident the speaker. Photo booth guy. You know, it's a company, so there's a guy that works and then there's an owner. It wasn't me. I never grabbed a speaker. She's like, you sure? He's like, I never grabbed a speaker. She's like, well, they have you on video, literally picking up the speaker and putting it in your truck. He doubles down. Wasn't me. It wasn't me. And she's like, I don't know what to do. He's flat out saying it wasn't him. I'm like, well, give us the footage and then we'll handle it. What I'm saying here is that even people that you think are like on the up and up, you know, and you trust and you work parties all the time and you put your stuff near stuff and you ask people, hey guys, can you watch this real quick? I got to do this, got to do that. Who knows? Who knows if you can trust anyone? I had a photographer, and it was light. The party hadn't started yet. And she was doing room shots and family shots. And she was, switching lenses and she put it down and she took the shots. And this was like 20 minutes later. She's like, hey, have you seen my lens? And look, these are Canon, like, L glass. These are like $2,000 to $3,000 lenses like that easily. And like, no, I have not. And personal friend, I've known her forever. She did my son's bar mitzvah, shot it for free. Like, she's that kind of person. And I'm like, when your daughter has her wedding, just let me know. I'm there. I'm not going to charge you. I'm just there. And, so yeah, she was asking around. The only people that were there were my crew, her, and the venue, like, wait staff. I know we didn't take it. That only leaves the wait staff. But guess what? Nobody took it. Nobody took it. Nobody knew anything about it. So you just have to be aware and be prepared for yourself that, like, just make sure you know where your stuff is all the time. All the time. I just need Serato to beef up library management, says AJ. Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I've been going through my playlist and going, I know the playlist I want to get to. I absolutely know the playlist, but I can't find it. And there's no way to search and there's no way to sort. That is my biggest I have two pet peeves. They can just fix this. I'm good. Give me a way to search my playlist, my actual playlist, or resort them. And also allow me to stream more than one stream at the same time. Those are my two biggest gripes. I don't really care about contextual. You right click and then it's cool to be able to see what playlist the songs are in. That's cool, but it's not the end of the world for me. Like, I know what playlist they should be in, but it's cool that that's there, but I don't even need that. You should wear white more often on your streams. It makes you stand out more in frame and from the dark green background. Just saying. You want to date me, don't you, Biggie? I'm playing. I agree with you. In fact, this is one of the reasons why I have the sweater on. In all honesty, I was watching a couple of my old IG reposts from the stream, and I saw one of them, and I was in this particular white sweater. I'm like, wow, I'm popping a lot more. So yes, I agree. But I'm not opposed to taking a date if you're going to take me out and buy me food. I mean, Philip Tan, when I went to Boston, took me out on a date. He took me, he took me on the train. We went and saw the city, and he took me out on a date, paid for my meal. We went and had I think Chinese, and it was nice to be courted for once. It was nice. I'm not gonna lie. BPM Supreme playlist curation is whack in some respects. However, I pulled up their reggaeton playlist. It was solid. Now, was there some stuff in there that I would consider to be a little bit old? Yes. but I didn't have a problem with the curation of that particular folder. Okay. All right, let's see here. Any more? Speaking about YouTube DJs, someone needs to do a wellness check on DJ Bar. It's been over a year since his last video. Okay, I will talk about DJ Bar. I talk about DJ Bar all the time. It has absolutely nothing to do. He's fine, by the way. He's absolutely fine. He's married now, so I'm sure that's playing into it. He's still working. He got burnt out. That's it. He got burnt out. He just didn't have an interest. He'll come back when he wants to, but he needs a refresh. He needs to reset his batteries. That's it. Banger button, crate hackers. Nothing wrong with crate hackers. I don't have a problem with crate hackers. I think what happened was, in all honesty, what you're experiencing now is good, Mac Joseph. DJ definitely needs a new update. It's been a while. This is the longest I think they've ever waited. I think what happened with crate hackers is when crate hackers came out, obviously they came out during the pandemic. And everybody was trying to like clean up their playlists and everything. So it was like the perfect storm for it. But what I think is going on now is a lot of the other services realized how important it was, and they weren't doing it before. They weren't prioritizing it. But when crate hackers became a thing, and crate hackers is talking to these companies and like, hey, we'll connect you to our stuff, so then you can, they can download from there. Everybody wins. And I think these companies were like, well, why don't we just do it ourselves? Like, why do we need you? You're basically making it seem like, we are inferior. So I think there's been a concerted effort from a lot of these companies to make their playlists better. That's just what I've just been noticing. BPM Supremes, curated playlists, their curated playlists used to be behind a paywall only, and now it's in their general, and it is significantly better. Beat Source's crates are very, very good. We know this about them. So I think with Beat Source and with BPM, with who else has a great crates? What's the other one? What's Warren's company? Why can't I think of Warren's company name right now? Anyway, sorry, Warren. It's not personal. Where are they? Sorry, it's driving me nuts. Anyway, I can't remember right now. Okay. Alexa's in the building. What's going on? Thanks for hanging out today. DMS, thank you. DMS, heavy hits is good. Yeah, I love. They're good. I think that they're not as good in my opinion as some, but I think they have a good. They're good. Your wife would body slam me. What does that mean? Are you 4'2" and 75 pounds? I don't know what that means. Okay, let's see here. Anything else? All right. It is 12:07, and you guys know me normally. Oh my God. These people are insane. Normally I would stay on board, but you guys know, some people know, some people don't know. I'm heading out to DJ Neva's funeral in Vegas. So I'm going there right now. It's about a 4.5 hour drive, which I don't mind. I actually love the drive. I turn on my music. I turn on some long form YouTube content, and I'm a happy camper. So I'm heading there right now. I'm just doing a turnaround. I'm going to go see it, sleep at my sister's house, and then I'm going to get up at like 10 o'clock and head home because I have a gig that night. I have a gig Saturday morning. I'm doing some video work for a client. So that'll be different. That's new. I'm doing but that's like at 8 in the morning that I got to be out. So that I'm not happy with, but it is what it is. When I first booked it, I was like, oh, good. It's just a night party. I can do the night party. But now it's like, nope, we need you to do the service too. And I'm just like, oh, that's not what I planned for. So, it's going to be a pretty busy couple of days. And, what's next week? Next week is the week before we go to, Harvest of Sound. So if you guys are in the Boston area, around the Boston area, and you want to come see, me talk about business and technology and see me potentially DJ, and see Scratch Bastard DJ, head to Harvest of Sound. That's the following week. I'll be in Boston. If you guys are out there, I'd love to see you guys and talk to you guys and hang out for a little bit. So, do what you can. But besides that, I hope I answered everybody's questions. I'm not really sure that I did or I didn't. Make sure you guys are following me on IG, my Instagram. When I'm not here, I'm absolutely on Instagram all the time. So make sure you guys are following me there because, that's where you're going to get the most out of me. If you have, if you DM me off of Instagram. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Threads. Those are my two right now. Yeah, but Biggie Smalls, you're absolutely correct. Just hanging out with friends and, just kind of reliving the man that was never. It's always a good time. Always a good time. So, I got to head out and, got to shower real quick and then get on the road. Thank you guys for hanging out today. I'm sure most of you guys are having parties, so make sure, have great parties, and then we will, discuss them next week. I will be talking about the video. I will probably shoot it on Sunday. I will be talking about the video with the DJ. Rob Ryan Drops posted it with the DJ that decided to talk to a patron of the venue and kind of put him on blast. I will talk about that video. That's my next video that I will talk about because I think I said I was going to talk about it. I had thoughts. I really do have thoughts and I want to break it down like piece by piece. No, with no disrespect to the DJ. The DJ's dope and I get it. We all get frustrated and we all snap sometimes at people. I want to talk about it though. So we'll talk about that next week. And then maybe we'll talk about it on the show on Thursday. Let's see here. Besides, I will be on the show next Thursday. I don't know if I'll be on the show the following Thursday because that's the day I fly back from Boston. The night after, before. Anyway, so we'll see. But so far, Thursdays should be easy Thursdays, and I don't think there's gonna be any days that I'm gonna be having to move it back to Wednesday or Tuesday. So I think we're good all the way through the month. So that'll give us a little time to work on some new content and like this stream. Yeah. Make sure you like the stream before you leave. And yeah, DM me on IG. Any topics, any subjects you'd like me to discuss. And that could be on the show. That could be in a dedicated video. Put it in there. If it's good, I'm going to use it. And I will actually highlight the person that recommended the video if I was going to do it before, obviously. The banger button is a new add-on like VDJ suggestion button. If your job as a company is to have crates that are all bangers inside, why do you need a banger button? I'm just saying, it doesn't really make sense. If every song is a banger, that's the whole point of the crate hackers. Every song's a banger. Now, maybe it's because that's my first response, and then I always look at things it's the way I look at the life. I'm sorry. I see life, and I always spot the negative parts of it before the positive parts. That's what makes me what I feel like, a good reviewer, because I see negative before I see positive. My wife hates it. I've said it before. She hates that about me, but it allows us, like, especially when we're doing business stuff and my partner says, hey, we should think about doing this and doing that. I'm thinking about the things that could go wrong before the things that could go right, you know? And then we go from there. That way I know what I'm getting into. That way I know what I'm doing. So I'm not going in blindly, like, sticker, you go in and, they've made things really, really beautiful. And you're like, oh, this is amazing. And then you're finally sitting in and you're like, oh God, I hate this. And I hate this. And I hate this. I see the things I hate first. And if those are things that I like, those are things that I work off of and I want to, then the good is just gravy. They are using AI to access that they use to build the crates. Allows us, when we are outside of the crates, say a set of requests to easily pull something that will go with key BPM. See, okay, we can get into a whole new issue that I have with this. But again, my issue is not with crate hackers, okay? It's not with crate hackers. My issue is that you ever go to the supermarket? You ever go to the supermarket and then there's an actually an IG reel on this where a guy is waiting in line and then one of the attendants comes up and says, hey, you can do self-checkout over there, self-checkout. And the guy's like, no, thanks. I don't want to do self-checkout. He's like, why? It's faster. You can do that because I don't want to deal with self-checkout. I got fruit. I don't want to have to type in all these things. I don't want to do all these things. I just want I want the checker to do the job. Can the checker please do their job? The problem is that you're removing yourself from the equation. If you are literally allowing AI to do your job for you, you're no longer a DJ. Like, I get crate hackers. I get crate digging. Like, I appreciate that. Or if they come out with some stuff that, like, okay, something I haven't heard before, or just a refresher of like, oh, that's right. My 90s hip hop or my 90s R&B or whatever, 2000s. Oh, that's right. I have these songs. I didn't realize. I can't believe I haven't been playing these songs. Like, here, let me pull those in. But when it stops doing that and it starts just telling you what to play all the time, you are no longer being a DJ. It should be there. It should be a supplement, but it should not be replacing. And I feel like, look, again, crate hackers is doing what they're supposed to be doing as a business. They're hitting that low hanging fruit, for those people that want to get into DJing, but have no idea what to do or what not to do. So they can get in there and they can get up to speed, relatively easy. And then the gear that they use is got everything in it, so they can transition through songs relatively easy. And next thing you know, people are like, wow, you're a really good DJ. But the problem is, the reality is that crate hackers can only take you so far. And then two things are going to happen. One, first off, you get to a club, you have no sound. You sound like everybody else. And if you sound like everybody else, people aren't going to remember you. They remember you for how you DJ and what you DJ. Okay. So that's the first thing. You have no sound. And secondly, how are you improving your DJ skills? How are you improving your ability to find hidden gems? How are you making that sound yours? If people are just telling you what to play, again, this has nothing to do with crate hackers. This has to do with the world we live in. If McDonald's wants to have everybody, or Taco Bell wants to have everybody use the computer, then what do I need you for? When I tell you, I've walked into U-Haul a couple of times and I have a corporate account. So I walk in, they don't have to do anything. They're literally just hitting the button and then giving me my keys. But if I walk in there and they go, oh, you have a reservation? Go on your phone and do it all. Why? That's what you're here for. That's what you're here for. If I'm doing this all online, I don't need you. And guess what? They're not going to need you too in a little while. I'm not a jukebox. I am not iTunes. I am not Spotify. I am a DJ. I play what I think needs to be played. I play off of experience. I play as I'm looking through the crowd and I'm seeing faces and reactions and body language. I'm not just playing because somebody told me I could play it. I should play it. That's not how it works. That's not DJing. Again, nothing to do with crate hackers. It is, but it should be a low hanging fruit thing. All newcomers, people that are just learning, people that want to get into it, and that's why I tell people all the time, they're like, which one should I get, Beat Source or Tidal? And I say, well, depends on what you're doing. If you are a DJ that needs help setting up your crates and setting up your curation, then do Beat Source, because you can take that curation and then you can make your own playlist and pull them to your local drive. And then, everybody wins. Beat Source is getting their money. You're making your own crates, and then you're supplementing those crates with things you want. If you are already an established DJ and you got all your stuff going on, Tidal has more music. That's it. It has more music. There hasn't been a request from Tidal that I haven't been able to find. Hasn't been one request. Beat Source, I'll run into an issue on occasion where they don't have a song, but hella curation, hella ins and outs. Sometimes they even have clean versions of in and outs, of intros that even Tidal doesn't even have a clean version, period. So there are benefits to both. Anyway. Okay. Now I really do have to go. Sorry about the rant. I am very passionate about what it is that we do as a community. And I'm very passionate about DJing. Love DJing. I love DJing, and I love music production. Always have. It's always been my life. So, I take those things personal. And I talked to Aaron. Aaron and I are friends. I've talked to him. I have a video on it, and that was my biggest issue. It was like, don't dumb it down too much, where you're stumping the creative experience and the creative process. Just don't do that, And they were like, yeah. And now I'm gonna go. I haven't even opened up Crate Hackers, but I'll open up Crate Hackers. I'll go check out what they've done, and But again, there's something to be said when you find a song, or you hear a song somewhere or whatever that just resonates with you, and that I've never heard anybody play this song. This is my song. This is a song that only I play. Nobody else plays this version. Not because it's bad, but because nobody else knows about it. So every time I play this song, somebody comes up and is like, "Hey man, where'd you get that edit from? Where'd you get that blend from?" "Oh man, I got it from here." And I'll tell them, I might even send them the file. I've done it before. There's something to be said about that. That's your sound. That's your style. But if every song I'm playing is just songs that people told me I should play, I'm not developing my sound. I'm not developing my style. And if you're not doing that, what's the point of DJing? Same thing with art. If I'm an artist and somebody's like, you need to draw like this person, and you never develop your style, what's the point? You're a copycat. You're a tracer. That's what you do. Tell me where that's from. Anyway, all right. I definitely got to go now, because I'm not trying to be in traffic getting out to Vegas. So thank you guys so much for being on the show. I appreciate you all. I honestly appreciate you all. Thank you for hanging out, even when, we're past the time and you got stuff to do. I appreciate you. Honestly, though, have great parties this weekend. We will talk next weekend. Get on my Instagram. Follow me there, because that's where I'm posting all day, every day. That's where I take all my DMs. And obviously, if you have any thoughts for new videos you'd like me to do, or any thoughts about, topics, DM me on IG. All right, y'all. We'll see you soon. Peace out. Have a great day.